The economy. The rupee touches an all-time low now. It has breached the 68 mark against the US dollar. Now, the Indian currency is also weakening against the British pound. In fact, it has slipped down to 104. And this is the reason why, in fact, we saw a debate on the state of the economy in the parliament yesterday. But the finance minister, in fact, just said that we need to be patient.
Well, Yvonne, I right now, certainly apropos of India, I have started buying some sugar. I'm not sure if I've got my timing right. I'm never very good at it. But I am more bullish on agriculture than most things. Some agricultural prices are very depressed. Sugar, for instance, in the Western market is down over 75% from its all-time high. Especially for India and places that I mentioned, you're going to need to protect yourselves from currency debasement and currency decline, so think of real assets. Well, I bought some internationally when it collapsed. When it got to 1200 US, I bought some just in case. I suspect that there are going to be more future opportunities in the international markets. India's got the situation with your currency, which makes it more and more difficult for you to judge the timing, because you have to get the currency and the Western price of gold, right? I'm not buying gold in the West at the moment. I'm just watching, expecting another chance to buy. But you know, if war breaks out in the next week or month or something, who knows how high India's going to go? And it looks like war might break out.
And now let's listen into what the finance minister had to say yesterday in the parliament.
As I said in Parliament, every emerging market is challenged today. So India is also challenged, and the impact is felt both on the equity market as well as the currency market. But I think we'll simply have to be patient, be firm, do whatever is required to be done, and the rupee will find its appropriate level. What I said a few days ago, I still maintain it. The rupee has overshot its true level. It's undervalued. Others have confirmed it. And we have to be patient, and we have to be firm, and we have to do what requires to be done.
And now let's get you some reactions coming in from the corporate India.
The concrete reason is that once volatility sets in and once confidence gets affected, it takes time to settle down. Already many analysts have already started saying that the right valuation may be around 61, 62, etc. So let us see what is, to me, more important. What is important is we have to reduce the volatility. What the value is, I think it will be decided by the market. So we have to reduce the volatility. The government is taking steps, the Reserve Bank is taking steps, and there are some signs at least which say that the rupee is at this point undervalued, and so maybe the right position will be taken by the rupee.
There is definitely issue of greater confidence and greater conviction, which is required to make sure that the slippage of the rupee beyond reasonable levels, which has already happened, is controlled. This will happen when some of the reform measures, some of the export steps that have been taken, including the benefits of import curtailment, which have been announced, when these are becoming more and more measurable, and when there is greater confidence in the fact that July the export number was about 11.6 billion. So the trade account deficit this year is likely to come down. I think the intellectual authorities in our country have firmed up that the current account deficit will be hardwired at not more than $70 billion.
The growth rate will be around 15%. It will be achieved in the second half of this year. I'm not talking right now, month or so. You can see from October things up. Why I'm so confident about it is not the rupee devaluation. I'm talking about the market condition. European Union has improved. They have got a good plus GDP growth after about 7-8 quarters negative. America has stabilized, and even the African countries are showing a very good trend. So based on the world market, I feel that Indian goods are attractive and they will be able to increase our exports.
And in the meanwhile, the opposition has launched an all-out attack. In fact, it's hitting out at the UPA government over its economic policies.
The more important point which I have been making for many months now is that the government has lost control over the economy completely. They are helpless before the forces of the market, and the result is that the market is behaving pretty much as it likes. So the rupee was 64 day before. It went to over 66 yesterday and has climbed to 68 now. The market, stock market is in a free fall. The rupee is in a free fall. And I have been saying this now, not out of politics, that the only thing which will stabilize the markets and the rupee at this point of time is for the government to resign and to go for fresh elections. That is the only thing which is going to stabilize the market. I shudder to think what is going to happen over the next 8-9 months if this government continues in power. And I am saying it with a full sense of responsibility that if this kind of thing had happened in any other country, there would have been people in the streets by now. People don't understand what it means for them. There was already a news report yesterday that immediately after the parliament session they are going to raise the diesel prices by 3 rupees. Now it will have to be raised by 4 rupees or even 5 rupees. So this is the situation in which this government has landed us. Now, without any recrimination, without any prejudice, I am saying, let's go for elections. Otherwise, we will suffer even more.
But tomorrow, will BJP raise this aggressively in the parliament?
It's not a question. There was a whole debate in Lok Sabha. There was a debate in Lok Sabha yesterday, and I am sorry to say that it was very little. There was very little coverage. So even the media is more responsible, more interested in other things than this falling rupee. You are here today because it has crossed 68. Otherwise you wouldn't have come to ask for my comments. देखिए, मैं कई दिनों से कह रहा हूं और बिना राजनीति से प्रेरित हुए कि इस सरकार ने नियंत्रण खो दिया है जो अर्थव्यवस्था है उसके ऊपर, और कल हमने लोकसभा में भी यही बात कही और यह भी कहा और आज भी वो दोहराना चाहूंगा, जो परिस्थिति आज के दिन पैदा हुई है कि अब एक ही उपाय है, इस अर्थव्यवस्था के संकट से निकलने का एक ही उपाय है और वह है कि आप चुनाव में चलिए, ये सरकार इस्तीफा दे। मैं बहुत जिम्मेदारी के साथ कह रहा हूं, अगर ये स्थिति किसी और देश में पैदा हुई होती तो आज हजारों लाखों की संख्या में लोग सड़कों पर होते और सरकार से कहते होते अब तुम जाओ नए चुनाव कराओ। दूसरा कोई उपाय नहीं है। आज 68 पर पहुंचा है, कल कहां जाएगा, परसों कहां जाएगा, कहना मुश्किल है।
Government is totally inactive. It does not take care. It leaves everything to the market. When market is collapsing, government should take emergency steps, and what is to be done should be a matter of discussion between Finance Ministry and Reserve Bank of India and other economists. Nothing is taking place. Everything is left to a single person known Chidambaram, a lawyer turned economist. He is incapable of taking any decision. He is only saying reform karenge. Reform, what does it mean? Reform does not mean everything will be decided by the speculators. Now the speculators are at work. It is not the normal downfall. Speculators who are at the work. Government has no political will to hold the present situation. They are bringing ruin to the country. Almost we may reach to a situation where there may be an economic emergency.